Now, so there's two things going on. One is they've done studies with babies, and they've done many different psychological tests, obviously, over the last, let's say, 50, 60 years. And oftentimes the psychological data changes because they have a slightly different take on it. One of the tests that has never changed is tests that have to do with healthy attachment with babies and mothers. And they find this fascinating because it's just striking data that the data doesn't change, because that's also just interesting when so often data does start to change over time and they start to glean new nuances of things. This never changed. And the data is really simple. And basically, it shows that when a mother is with a baby and the baby starts to feel upset, the mother, they have in the study, do three different things to see what will work. And in one case, the mother starts to say to the baby, "You're fine, you're fine." And like gets a squeezy little duck and like, "Look at the ducky." And the baby actually, then they notice the heart rate starts to actually get more agitated and the baby gets more distressed. Then there's the mother who ignores the baby and the baby gets really upset. And then the third option is the mother who really, really stays and names with and for the baby what the baby is holding. And the mother can say something like, "Oh my gosh, I know you're so upset. You are so upset right now." And the baby just calms down. And so those of us who had mothers, some of our mothers were better or not as good at that, right? My mom loves the hell out of me, but my mom is manic depressive. So she's tried to commit suicide 3 times in my life, and I called the ambulance twice. She wasn't really so good at regulating herself. So that was hard for her with me. So that's an interesting journey for me to learn to take care of myself, right? But this is something we have to learn to do. So part of, I want to talk about two things. So half of it, 50% of what I'm talking about is rolling out the welcome mat. And what's fascinating is when you turn toward a feeling that you're trying to escape from, like anxiety or fear or shame or sadness, the more you turn toward it, like that mother with that baby, that feeling changes. And you notice that there's actually something bigger than that feeling that's holding the feeling. And you realize you can be with it. And it's not that it feels good, but there's a satisfaction in being with. And then all of a sudden we become integrated. And I loved when Amber was describing me, my favorite word she used was like being in integrity, because I think this is my greatest way that I can be in integrity. And this is maybe the reason I have success in work, is because I'm willing to do this all the time.